Hello everyone. I want to show you how far I have gotten with my sculpture. And I went ahead and I started her leg yesterday, and I came up with a problem area, and I thought that instead of just taking it right off and correcting it, I thought it would be good to show it on camera. When I made the core, which the core has the epoxy on it, and then I've put the polymer clay over it after it's dried. I didn't take the epoxy down to the bottom of her foot. It wasn't enough epoxy there. And I want to show you, and I'm going to bring it up, but this is what happens. Let me see, it's maybe too close now. Okay. This is what happens when you don't put some kind of a core or a filler around your wire. You'll get your trapped, it'll end up with trapped air. And when you bake it, that's when your doll can crack, or this can also cause your doll to be very weak. And being that it is in the foot, I am most definitely going to take the foot off and just put the epoxy all the way down to the wire. But I wanted to show you that, and that can be corrected. But for people that are just beginning, that's very important that you put something over that wire. Now for me, and I know a lot of artists, other artists, it works for them, but it just doesn't work for me. They put masking tape on it, or some kind of tape. They use foil too. Can't use foil for me. And then tape it up with the masking tape. For some reason, the clay just doesn't want to stick to the polymer clay, and maybe that's because I have to leach my clay out so much that maybe it's because I don't have as much oil in my clay like they do. Because I don't want to say that it's a bad way or anything. It's just that something that doesn't work for me. And sometimes I know I've just gotten some emails and everything, and people will say, my God, I feel like I was the only one that had that problem. So I'm starting to share just really everything that I come across or I have been through. But they are my only problems, and I just find the solution for myself. She needs a good cleaning, and that foot needs to come off and redone. Then I'm going to also show you the brass tubing. Now I've already gone ahead. Let me bring this back down. Okay. The brass tubing I have is a square tubing, and the reason that I have the square tubing is because that I find that it won't rotate on me. There's another reason why that I use this kind of tubing also is if I used let's say just a half a piece and then your wire was connected, I found for me that caused some problems with me. The leg wasn't strong enough for me. I didn't quite like it. And I went ahead and I tried for myself the whole piece of tubing. Apply my 2-part epoxy to it. When this is all dry, I'll go ahead and I'll sculpt her leg just like this. And then what I'll do is when I'm ready, it will go up inside of the doll, but I'm going to have epoxy also inside of it. And I find that my leg is a lot more supporting than if I did a half. I wanted to share that with you. You do what you feel most comfortable with. I didn't feel comfortable with that at all. So I'm going to get back to working with the leg, and I will show you on this leg the actual sculpting of it. For me to do both of the legs, the video would be very long, because I think I worked on this leg, it was all day yesterday and through the evening too, with some interruptions, but it was for a pretty long time, and I still don't have it. And the only thing that I can explain to you about sculpting the leg is that this part right up in here it's always rounded, and it's rounded at the center of, or the top of the thigh. When you do it, make sure it's got a real sharp line, no dips, unless that's the kind of doll that you're going for. You don't want any dips in it, because then it makes your leg look like it's really out of whack. And for the bottom of the leg, maybe I've got a spot in this one. No. But you want to make sure that that line is nice and crisp. No dips in it. Because once you got those dips, I don't know, it doesn't look right at all. Okay, wanted to share that with you, and I'm going to get back and I'm going to work on my other leg. I have to wait for that epoxy to dry, which it'll probably be in about another hour, at the most 2 hours, and then I'll be ready to do the leg. So until then, I'll see you later.